Hey YouTube, how you doing? Kevin here coming at you, and Andrew. Say hi, Andrew.
Hi.
So, working on my ke100. Got my fuel tank to put back on. Get rid of the one I've been using for practicing on brazing. This is my dummy tank. As you can see, I did some brazing to it. It's got like all kinds of like pinholes, and I did some seaming using a torch. And like I said, this is just for dummy practicing on, because it's good to have a tank that you can practice on before you go and actually do a repair. I've been doing brazing for a while now, and it's actually pretty easy, but it's always good to have a practice tank. That way you can make sure you're doing it good. So anyway, what we're doing tonight is we're putting this thing back together so I can ride it. We left off just as you see it right there, with the socket in there. I got to tighten up that, torque it, and finish putting it back together. So, I'm going to get this back on the, put you guys up on the stand, hang out with you guys for a bit tonight. Guys, 381 subscribers. Thank you very much. It's awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. So, it's really nice to be able to do that. I'm actually working in my blue room to get my ke100 motor. Just kind of like chilling out in the blue room. I did some other bikes in here a while back. I did a top end on a little Yamaha. A little Yamaha 80, and in here it's just got some, you can see just like some of the stuff, you know, just my little parts room. So just kind of chilling with that. And we got this one, and then we got the green bike that you guys saw with no motor on it. I got the parts to fix that motor, so we're gonna be working on that pretty soon. And then see over here, see if you can see it, that's the jug right there. It's going on my ke100. It's gonna be bored out. I got the piston and gasket set. So we got that project coming up, guys. Another top end to be able to hang with you. And I'm putting a bigger piston in on that. Let me show you guys how to do some modifications with the carburetor on that. Okay, let's get you guys in a position here so we can get started. Oh, that's my knees. That's called old age, people. Old age. Alright, so I'm going to shrink you guys down a second. Hold on. Kind of get you to where I'm at. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good? Just chilling with Dada?
So my baby.
Yep. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, let's get these guys in a position so they can see what we're doing, right? Okay, here we go. Boom. Got you right there. Alright, so I'm going to use a piston stop, a longer one. This is actually one that I use for vacuum testing. I get a lot of questions like, how can you tell if your crankshaft seals? I got to do a video on this because this is good knowledge to have. I pull the carburetor off, I pull the exhaust off, I block the exhaust port and the intake port, and I can pull a vacuum on this hose right here through the spark plug port and just watch it for holding a vacuum. If it holds the vacuum, your seals are good. So that's how I pressure test these engines and see if I need crankshaft seals. Right? You okay, buddy? You gonna make it? Burping over there. So what I do is we're gonna pull out the spark plug real quick, which is already loose from last time. No tool required for that. Set this in. Right. Okay, we screw that right in the spot. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on how to test and see if you need, what do you call it there? If you need crank seals or if there's a leak. Alright? So what we're going to use tonight is a nice little torque wrench. My handy dandy, trustworthy little Craftsman. And we're going to torque this thing down to 36 foot-pounds. 36 foot-pounds. We got to make sure we have the lock washer in there, which we do. Okay. What I'm going to do, Andrew, can you pass me that ratchet right there?
That one?
The ratchet right here, the tool. Can you pass me the tool? Nope. This. Yep, that right there. Let me see that. Thank you. Okay, so to make this go a little quicker, because that thing is so far in, out, we're just going to wind it in with the ratchet, and then we'll torque it. Makes it a little easier. Okay, no, it wasn't that far out. Alright, good. Put it back on torque wrench. What's up, buddy? Step back. Okay, put this on. Yep.
Oh.
Torque this thing to 36 foot-pounds. I'm at 35 right now. And then I lost it. 36, okay. Got 36 foot-pounds. 36 foot-pounds will do it. And then we'll take that out. Alright, get that out. We'll set the spark plug back in. Sit down, buddy. This is the wrong plug for this. I don't know what that plug came out. We're going to put the right plug back in that.
Go.
Which we'll do that in a little bit. I got to get a new plug for that.
Go.
Alright. This green wire right here, make sure it doesn't have any fraying when you put these in. Let's see if I can expand you there. Right here, because your side cover goes on. What's that, Andrew? What?
I'm almost tired.
Alright, good. Go lay down. Okay, make sure it's tucked in nice. You don't want to pinch this on this wall here. You want to make sure it's on the right of the wall. So, buddy.
I don't want to.
This gasket right here is in good shape, so I'll reuse that again.
So it might be different.
Yeah, hold on. Put that on like that, like so. And you can't lean on me, buddy. Alright, put that like that. And then I need, watch out, a little assembly lube. This whole engine's got to be pressure washed anyway, so I'm not going too crazy with it. A little bit of assembly lube. Put that right on the shaft there. Makes it nice so it can rotate freely without issues. We don't like issues, right, Andrew?
No.
No issues. Grab your side cover. Right there. There's a little seal right here. You're going to want to put a little bit of assembly lube in that. It helps with that seal. Keeps it, I mean, it doesn't hold anything back. I mean, water's still going to get in the back side of it. But I have had these seals where they're so dry, it makes the shifter stick.
Oh, no.
So the shifter can stick. It'll stick inside that, what do you call it there, in the sleeve. And make it very hard to shift. There we go, yeah. And you should not have to tap that. If you have to tap that on, it is too tight, and then you're going to have shifting issues. Okay? So what I do, take a screw, I stick it through, make sure it goes into the gasket first. Okay. Do the same thing with the bottom one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Alright, like so. Should be able to lock that on just like that, yep. Screwdriver right here. Start the top one. Make sure you get it, all the gaskets into the screw holes. Very important.
I'm really tired.
Alright, go lay down.
I do it after the video starts.
Okay, that's fine. Make sure the gasket's in, which it is, all the way around there. Okay. Tighten up the side cover. There's no torque specs for these right here, so I use my number 3 screwdriver. So it fits in there nice and tug, and I give it a good old crank down. You don't need an impact wrench for these. You do when you take them apart, but not when you put them together. Okay.
74.
All right. Now for the shifter. The shifter is pretty simple. You can put these in any position you want, depending upon your foot. Okay, I've got kind of bigger feet, so I kind of like mine up a little bit, like that, like so. All right, watch out, buddy. I gotta stand up. So, I basically put my foot on the shifter. Boom. Yep, that's how I like it. Right like that. Good. Comfortable.
Comfortable.
That's what you want. You want to be comfortable.
Want to be comfortable.
Yep. If you can't be comfortable,
Yeah.
you don't belong on the bike, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Put that on like that.
Actually, I'm not tired.
All right. Why don't you go get your iPad? We'll do some letters.
Okay. Letters.
That's what I said. Okay, shift is nice and tight. See, you can see that right there. Shift is nice on there. Okay, so we got that part all done. It's good to have this bike back together. I can't wait to ride it. We're getting hit with more snow, people. Can you imagine that? More stupid snow. Man, it's alright if you have a snow machine, but I like the bikes, you know. I'm going to raise you guys up. Get you guys up there because we're going to be doing the tank. Taking the seat out. So sorry about the shifting of the whatchamacallit, the camera. There we go. Just readjusting the tripod for a second. Get you guys into place. Alright, here we go. Get you down like that. Get you some of that. Already got the key in the thing, I think. Yep. Okay, we'll get the socket and the ratchet. This is a good tank for doing dummy work on, I'm telling you. I get to check it, make sure that, what do you call it? Everything, you know, when you're doing a tank and you're doing a conversion on a bike, it's good to have a tank that doesn't have any fuel in it. It's not going to have any fuel in it when you're welding on a bike. So there's one bolt underneath the seat here that holds the fuel tank on. Let's see if I can show it to you. For those of you who don't know how the tank is on there, just one bolt right here and then it slides back. So let's put you like this. Okay, put you like over here. There we go. Sorry about, like I said, sorry about the shifting of the camera. Doing multiple things at the same time here. Alright. Pop this old dyno off. Good. That is my dummy tank for mocking things up. And I gotta plug in my, make sure there's no cuts or anything like that. I always check that stuff. Tighten up anything that needs to be tightened up. Like that. Those are on there like good. And I got my wire in here for my horn. Okay. Good. Horns plugged back in. That stuff's all done there. Good. Alright. Alright. So a couple of things you want on these KEs. You want to make sure you have 2 of the mounts for the front, for the, whatchamacallit there, for the tank. See if I can expand you guys here. These 2 rubber bumpers, they just pop on. And there's supposed to be a washer on the back of them, which there is on this one. And then just underneath the seat here, you'll see there's a rubber foot. I call it a foot. Let's see if I can get you this way. Hold on. I kind of can't really see with the seat in the way. I'm hitting everything in the room. Right. Come on, camera. There we go. I got it right there. Okay. This rubber piece right here, this pad, you want to make sure you have that your tank rests on that. Very important you have that. All right, now I gotta maneuver you guys back. I'm picking up the whole stand as I'm doing it. So, hold on 1 second. Moving these cameras. I need a camera guy. That's what I need. I need a cameraman. Can't even maneuver this thing tonight for some reason. Okay. Alright, now we'll grab the tank. It's my white KE tank. I like the style tank. And then up in the front here, you can see that there's a couple of mounts right here. These hooks, that's where your fuel tank slides into. And these typically crack the back of them here. So make sure yours is not cracked. If they are cracked, you can braze them or tack weld them, either way. Hold on a second. Kind of a pain in the neck to get on this sometimes because the wiring goes up and back of it, but we'll get it. Just a matter of getting it. Okay. Good. Make sure it's not pinching any wiring. That wiring's all nice in place. Beautiful. Like that. Make sure there's no pinching. So, on the tank, that piece I showed you, the cradle, and then you get that black rubber, that rubber mount that fits over it like that. You want to make sure that when it sits over like that, there's no wires or cables pinched, because your throttle cable on the other side goes up on that, and then that could jam up on you. And on this side right here, you got your wire coming down for your horn is on the left side. So you want to make sure that's all, you got plenty of clearance all the way around it. Yeah, I got nothing on there. Okay, good. Alright, we'll grab that bolt. So the way it goes is, I'll show you on this other tank. Grab the dummy tank. Okay, you should have a rubber insulator with a steel sleeve. See the steel sleeve? That fits through. If you have a rubber like this, you should have a sleeve in there, because you don't want to tighten down the rubber, because then if you do that, when you tighten down this bolt right here, it allows the tank to flex. If you take this out and you just put your bolt in there, what happens is you make a rigid mount, and the tank is not able to flex when you go around corners and stuff, and it develops cracking underneath. It'll crack, and then eventually it'll separate from the tank, and then the tank will be all flimsy. So make sure you have that sleeve. It's very important. I see a lot of bikes, and I get a lot of bikes, where this sleeve is missing. And sometimes, if the rubber's worn out, when you take your tank off, it will fall out. Because as you can see, it's not in there very well. You know what I mean? So that's a tip for you. Make sure you have that sleeve. If you don't, get it. And another tip, when you take your tank off, if you're going to have your tank off for a while, you know the bread tie, the zip, the little string goes around bread? You can actually put that through the hole and tie it around the other side of it, and it won't fall out. Just a little tip for you. Or you can use zip tie too. Okay. Alright. Cool beans. Alright, nice. I'm not firing this up tonight. I just wanted to get it kind of, put back together. Just checked it out and see if it'll work. If it'll all go back together nicely. I just don't want to lose any parts because I got a lot of projects underneath this big sheet right here. It's that green frame that I did for the ke100. We're gonna finish that off. We got a lot of projects going on, guys, a lot. So we're gonna be spending a lot of nights in here doing a lot of this type of stuff. Kind of a designated area. So for this now. Okay, let's see. We'll tripod like this, and let me go grab the battery real quick and throw that in. This bike right here is going to remain 6 volt. I'm not changing this one. The ke102 build, that's going to be 12 volt. Just because we got such high demand on it, it makes good sense to make that one a 12 volt system, since we've already done so much to the bike. Alright, ground right here. Okay. Should have plenty of clearance on everything. Yep, good there. Okay. Come on. Nice. Beautiful. Alright, let's bring it back here. Wow. Alright. So the ke100 is officially back together except for the spark plug, which I'm going to put a new plug in that. Not doing that right now, but I will do that and get it back up on a kickstand. And the only thing left to do on this bike is hook up the fuel line on the back side. Okay. Nice. All hooked up, ready to go. Now she's ready for a bath, which she's not getting tonight. Alright, move the cooler because that's what I had to lean up against. Just wanted to make sure she was all, whatchamacallit there, back together. That was my big thing. Then we can work on the other bike, you know. So we'll be starting on that bike tomorrow. We're going to be working on the ke100, that green bike with no motor on it. Put the tripod over here. I'm doing this freehand now. Okay. Yeah, we got the ke100 to go on. We have the 102 motor there. The frame underneath that. I'm sure you guys have seen it. In case for those new subscribers who haven't, I'll give you a sneak peek of a bike that we're building. There she is right there. That's the Kawasaki ke102 we're building. It's actually a ke100, but we built a motor, and I'm calling it the ke102 project. And that bike right there, that frame, is the same bike as this. But as you can see, this one, they came black. So we're making a newer, modernized bike. Something exciting to do. And it's going to have, it features a 12 volt charging system. It's going to have all LED lights. We got a, let's see if I can show you. Got the expansion chamber right there. We got to finish that up. We're going to mock that up on the other bike. I've been organizing parts, getting stuff up there done. Got magnetos, battery box, air filter. I got tons of them. We're gonna get some more racking in here. I'm eventually be selling parts. It's gonna be nice. All the side covers. Some of the ones I got totes. These are all. Some of the stuff is Christmas, but these totes are here. I got totes in the shed. The one that says camping is not camping. That's got engines in it. That one's got engines in it. That one's got engines in it. I got 2 more totes right here full of parts. I got a lot of stuff. A lot of parts. A lot of parts to go through. So I'm just trying to organize things with the lights. Got vintage classic lights. These came off Trail Bosses. Big old Trail Boss battery box. So, side cover collection. You guys remember this? The white one? That actually came off that bike before I put everything green. I got a green one on there now. I'll show you. See if I can take you on a spin. I got the green one on there now. Kind of made them a little bit more modern. So, get my tank vent. These are good vents, by the way. These things are really nice. Because I used to have the hose going up and over, but they sell these ones right here at the motocross shop. And I have, I didn't clean them all up, but I got handlebar risers. And they're really nice. That way, if you put the rental bars on there, which are shorter, it brings them up to the ride height, and it's perfect. So I'm going to be changing the bars when I put on that one. So, but I got some stuff I got to do to it. I got to give it a bath. Shocks are all done. I got to do tires on it and get it ready for the season. So we're going to be doing tires on this thing. Going to give it a nice clean up bath. It's been sitting in the green little shed there. I keep all the bikes in, all locked up. But I figure I'd get a jump on it and get it back to where it's rideable, you know. So, but anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate that. And as always, I hope, hopefully my videos help you out. I know they have on a few of you. And we got some other projects. Tomorrow night we're putting together the other ke100, putting that side cover back on the motor, buttoning up the engine. We're going to put the new piston in it, switch out the cylinder, and get that thing mounted on the other KE. So get that bike up and ready, and get the thing posted and get it flipped. Hopefully find a buyer for it. The bike came out really nice, and we got to change out some rims. We got to switch the tires over on a rim. We have brake adjustments, chain, the motor to be bolted down, the exhaust to be put back on, and we're gonna go next. We're gonna take off the baffle. We want the thing to be loud, so we're gonna take off the baffle off the back of it, and when you do that, we're gonna rejet it because it's gonna be that actually restricts. So if you take that out, you can put more airflow out the exhaust, and the bike will be louder, but I'll be able to put a bigger jet in there to get a little bit more power out of the bike. So it's going to be a fun bike. And in either that top tote or that one, I have another KD80 engine. We're going to be putting that on another frame and making a pair of them. So I'm going to see if I can sell a pair of bikes that'll be basically the same, like a father-son bike. One's going to be a KD80, and the other one's going to be a ke100 without the lights and stuff. They're both bikes strictly off-road. So these are some fun projects coming up. So I know it's going to be within the next week or so. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please share. I gotta. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers to start getting some funding for these. So if you guys can share this and have your friends subscribe to the channel, that will be a very big help to me, because right now YouTube is really putting it to us with their what do you call it there? You have to have 1,000 subscribers. You guys might notice that there's no ads on my page, so that's because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I have the hours watched on my videos, 4,000 hours. I have that, but I don't have the subscribers. And I just want to say thank you guys for the subscribers I have. The 381 of you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are just great, and I appreciate it. If there's anything I can do for you guys, the videos, we have a lot of stuff. Tire changing with the proper tools. I'm going to be doing a toolbox video showing you guys some of the tools that I use on my day-to-day. I had one guy ask me, how do I tell the temperature of my bike? I'll show you a tool that I use to tell the temperature. I keep a lot of stuff in here. Dummy ignition switches in case I get a bike that doesn't have a key. So I got this tool right here. This is made by Ryobi. This is a good quality thermometer, and basically it's pointed at the engine. You give it a click and you can see the temperature. Right now that engine's 59 degrees, 60 degrees. And the nice thing about this tool is when you're working on your bike and you got the bike running and you want to see if it's getting hot, you can tell the head temperature. It shoots a laser, see the red laser? And that gives you what it is. The engine's at 60 degrees. So it's basically lukewarm in here. So it's pretty neat how you can do that. And when you're checking your temperature, you know, obviously you're going to be checking on the coolant fins and seeing what you're at. Roughly about 200, you know, 210. And then put it right on there and it'll tell you. So that's pretty much. Keep in mind, air-cooled engines run hotter than liquid-cooled. So I got my, what do you call it here? Caliper vernier I use, my compression tester, my Dremel, all kinds of stuff. I keep all my old head gaskets. Every time I do a bike, I keep the head gasket. I'm going to tell you why. Well, first, I'm going to veer off for a second. The blue won't scratch on the scouring pad, so if you clean your bike, use the blue, not the green. But back on the head gaskets, I keep these because these head gaskets, they're copper. And you can use the edge of the gasket for a gasket scraper, and it really works good. And you don't worry about, like, a razor blade will cut into the aluminum and make little nicks and digs, and then you gotta fill it in with silicone. You don't have to do that with copper head gaskets. So save your head gaskets, people. Little tip for you. I kind of like to do a lot of stuff like that, you know. I got a spark plug right here. If I have to kill an engine in a heartbeat, I could just grab the spark plug wire with these, pull it off, and I'll get electrocuted. I keep both ignition switches. This is a new ignition switch, which is a 4-pin. And then I keep a dinosaur one, which is a 6-pin for the older bikes. This one right here will start with a screwdriver, so there's no key to it. And basically, if I pick up a bike and the guy's like, I have no keys, which I get a lot of that, I can just take one of these bikes, one of these plugs, pop the headlight out, plug it in, and see if the bike will actually run. Most cases, they do. I like to make tools. One of the tools I've made recently is the spark. This right here is for checking points. It's got the cam lobe, came off the center of a magneto. Made that. That's a cool tool. I got a fuel tank video coming up on how to clean your inside of your fuel tanks for rusted tanks. And we're going to be making a block-off plate to block off the petcock. Because what happens is, if you put the chemical in there, most of them eat the aluminum. And they'll eat up your petcock so bad that you won't even be able to use it again. So, going to be making a block-off plate for that. Just different things I use, you know. My tachometer for adjusting the carbs. This is cool. You just take that wire right there, that clamp, you put it on your spark plug wire, and you can run the engine and get your RPMs from it. Different things like that. They got different spark testers. These are generic ones. You can get these anywhere. You can get these at any parts store. They're they just go in line. That's how they come, but you have to do a little bit of modification. So I took the end of a spark plug. Here's one of them. Like this, a regular one. There we go. I put a chainsaw boot. I mean, not a chainsaw. What do you call it there? A boot from a what do you call it? The Honda, and a stud on the other end, 4mm, so it plugs into the coil head, and then I can check if I spark. See my spark. So, all kinds of goodies, guys. All kinds of goodies. So, different things we use. This right here, you put this on your fuel line, shuts off the fuel. So, if you have to disconnect your tank and you get a full tank, and your petcock's broken, I can clamp this on there and shuts the fuel off. Whole bunch of tools, guys. Whole bunch of tools. So, it's just pretty cool that I'm able to show you guys how they all work, and we're going to be doing pressure testing videos. We got a lot of stuff coming up. A lot. In fact, after we do the next bike, we're going to pressure test it, and I'm going to show you guys how to do all that. So, and pull in a vacuum, basically, and we're going to check it for leaks. Make sure that the crank shields are, what do you call it, they're solid. So I'm going to show you guys on the next few videos how to tell the integrity of an engine. when you're buying a two-stroke bike, you don't know if it's been used and abused. So I'm going to show you guys a few tips what to look for when you're buying one of these bikes, because a lot of them come through and they're junk. They've been left out in the rain. People took certain parts off of them and now it doesn't run right. So I'm going to be doing a video on what to look for and what tools you need when you're going to go check bikes. So those videos will be coming up pretty soon as well. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, please send them my way. Thanks so much.